A few years ago, Phil Foden was a football-mad Manchester City fan, dreaming of making it as a pro. Now he's one of the most important players in Pep Guardiola's team. Here are 10 things you didn't know about Phil Foden. 10. Pep's biggest talent. During his time in charge of Barcelona, Bayern Munich and Man City, Pep Guardiola's managed some incredible players. Xavi, Andre Iniesta, Lionel Messi, Robert Lewandowski, Arjen Robben, Sergio Aguero, Kevin De Bruyne. The list is endless. But who does Pep think is the most gifted player he's worked with? If you weren't watching this video, his answer would probably have surprised you. Phil is the most talented player I've ever seen in my career as a manager, he said. 9. He was there for Aguero! Foden has shared a dressing room with some Man City legends. Yaya Toure, David Silva and Sergio Aguero. All those players have left the club now, and Foden will hope to follow in their footsteps in the years to come. Back in 2012, when Aguero scored his famous title-winning goal against QPR, an 11-year-old Foden was inside the stadium as a fan. Little did he know that he'd be setting up goals for Sergio a few years later. "I was directly behind the net when Aguero scored," he recalled. "That was my main highlight as a City fan. It's mad to think that I play with those players now." 8. He's been a Man City mascot. Foden's experienced life as a Manchester City player and a Manchester City fan. But that's not all. He's also been a ball boy and a mascot for the club of his life. Foden made his debut against Feyenoord in 2017, but that wasn't the first time he'd stepped onto the Etihad pitch. That event came 10 years earlier, when a 7-year-old Foden held Martin Petrov's hand before a game against Sunderland. "I did want to walk out with Micah Richards, but I ended up changing to Petrov," he said later. Never mind, Micah. 7. David Silva is his icon. David Silva is a Man City legend. Some think he's the greatest player in the club's history. Replacing him was never going to be easy. It must have been really special for the boyhood City fan to step into the shoes of the player who was once his hero. It's not hard to see why Foden idolised David Silva. Both are left-footed, both are playmakers, and both are incredibly naturally gifted. It's testament to Foden's talent that City haven't really missed their old Spanish magician. 6. His dad supports a big rival. Football fans love nothing more than an academy product shining in the first team. It's particularly special when the youngsters from the local area. Foden grew up in Stockport, about 6 or 7 miles outside Manchester city centre. He earned the nickname Stockport Iniesta when he was still a teenager. Foden supported City from a young age, along with his mum. But as well as being a keen fisherman, his dad is a Man United fan. When he comes and watches, I ask him who he'll support and he says City, just for the day. "I'm changing him slowly," Foden said in 2019. 5. He holds 2 Champions League records. It's amazing how much Foden's achieved at such a young age. As well as being the youngest ever Premier League champion, the City star holds 2 Champions League records. First, he's the youngest Englishman to start a Champions League match at just 17 years and 192 days. He wasn't able to prevent City losing to Shakhtar Donetsk that night, though. Foden's also the youngest English player to score in the knockout stage of the competition. That feat was achieved in a 7-0 win against Schalke when Phil was 18 years and 288 days old. 4. He absolutely loves fishing. Now, if you ask footballers what their second favourite sport is, many will say golf. It's a popular pastime among players who often hit the course for downtime. Foden's a little different. You're more likely to find him out on the riverbank than the putting green. His dad first took him fishing when he was 6, and Phil loved every minute of it. The fish weren't the only ones who got hooked. Whereas some players like to hit the PlayStation while resting after matches, Foden prefers to go fishing. 3. He's already a father. Footballers tend to have children earlier than most people, and Foden became a father at the tender age of 18. Phil's been with his partner Rebecca since their school days. The childhood sweethearts welcomed Ronnie to the world in January 2019, a few months before Foden turned 19. The Man City star was emotional when his son was born, but he didn't want to cry in front of his family. "I was there for the birth. I walked out of the room, gave it a little tear, then went back in like nothing had happened," he later revealed. 2. He has an interesting nickname. Let's be honest, footballers usually have pretty dull nicknames. Often it's just a Y added onto the end of their surnames. Foden's not known as Fodeny though. His nickname, oddly enough, is Ronnie Roundhead. Foden's dad's also called Phil, so his grandma used to call him Ronnie as a kid. The name stuck through childhood, and it was later combined with Roundhead due to, well, you can probably work out why. 1. He's the youngest Premier League winner. Foden might only be 21, but he's already won 3 Premier League titles. Only 34 players in the history of the division have lifted the trophy more often. If Foden continues winning Premier Leagues at his current rate, Ryan Giggs' all-time record will soon be under threat. Foden was a key player in City's most recent triumph. He didn't appear quite as regularly in 2018-19, and in 2017-18, he only made 5 appearances. That was still enough for him to get a medal though, and when he got his hands on it, he was younger than any other title winner, at just 17 years and 350 days. Do you know any other interesting facts about Phil Foden? Drop a comment below, then hit subscribe so you don't miss any of our football videos.